What's up YouTube? Finally back for another one. And I just wanted to make a video mainly talking about what led to my fitness journey and my reason and purpose for making this channel. Before I begin, I just wanted to preface by saying I'm not professionally involved in the fitness industry in any way. I'm just a regular dude that happens to be an avid gym rat. I don't make a living from fitness, but I live for fitness and I love to live the fitness lifestyle. Like many others who live the fitness lifestyle, I wasn't really the fittest kid growing up. I was always on the bigger side, and that's not because of lack of exercise or because of genetics or anything like that. It's because I loved food, I loved to eat, and I had a mean appetite. Combine all three of those, and you're gonna have a bigger kid on your hands. A typical day for me would include your standard breakfast, your standard lunch, but towards the evening was when things got bad. I grew up on a lot living next to my grandmother and my aunt, and for dinner I would normally eat something at my house, go over to my grandmother's house, eat something there, then go over to my aunt's house and eat something there. So your boy was having 3 dinners back to back to back every night. And to top it all off, I always had a pre-bed snack, which consisted of either a big ass bowl of cereal or a king-size Snickers bar, along with the 99-cent bag of hot Cheetos. Despite my excessive eating habits, I was only a chubby kid and not an obese kid, mainly because I was still fairly active. I loved playing outside, I loved playing tag, riding bikes, hide and seek, going to the playground, all the normal kid stuff. But my biggest passion as a kid was basketball. I loved playing basketball. We had a court at home, so I would always shoot hoops, I would always practice, and I was actually pretty decent. I had a wet jumper, but my patented maneuver, I had this left-hand sky hook shot that I used to do from 18, 20 feet out, and it was reminiscent of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. We played in a YMCA league, and every time I would bust it out, and all the parents in the stands would go absolutely nuts. Fast forward to middle school is when things really started to dip, mainly because I gave up on basketball. I remember trying out for the school basketball team in 6th grade, and we were doing these one-on-one drills, and I was giving this kid the work, man. But unfortunately, all the coaching staff was paying attention to the other side of the court, where this kid was doing all these flashy and-one maneuvers, crossovers, so I wasn't getting any attention, and because of that, I didn't make the team, and because of not making the team, I gave up on my hoop dreams. Giving up on basketball caused me to become way less active. I actually picked up skateboarding because that's what all the cool kids were doing at the time, and I wanted to be a cool kid. But the thing with skateboarding is, most of the time you're just hanging out with your friends. Yeah, you do some ollies and some kick flips here and there, but the level of activity was nowhere near of that of basketball, where you're running and sweating. My eating habits at the time were the same, if not just as bad. I was still eating 3 dinners a night. I was still snacking like crazy. I remember every day like clockwork, I would round up $1 and change, go over to the corner liquor store, and grab me 4 Little Debbie snacks. They were only $1 each at the time, so I would grab me a zebra cake, nutty bars, oatmeal cream pie, and a Swiss roll, and just eat them all at once. Despite the bad eating habits and the inactivity, I was still relatively fit performance-wise. I would keep up in PE for most of the activities, but I specifically remember when they would make us run. Most of the kids would be walking around the track, and me and maybe 2 others would be the only ones actually running the entire time. So I was surprised that I still had the stamina that I did. Moving on to high school, which was practically the prequel to my fitness journey. 9th grade we can skip past, but 10th grade, 2003, that's when shit got real. And it got real because of one man and one man only, 50 Cent. When I discovered 50 Cent, I was amazed because his music was so hard, it was so gangster, it was something different, but mainly because he was just jacked. I remember seeing him in his G-Unit tank top with his shirt off, and just thinking like, damn, I want to look like that. So from that point forward, I remember having a bench press at home that I never used prior to this, and I used to just bench every single day, blasting G-Unit, getting in the zone, just bench pressing, repping it out. Skip over to junior year, I joined a weight training class, and we had a pretty chill teacher that gave us free range to do whatever we want, so most of the kids took advantage and just used the time to hang out and shoot the shit, but not me. I took full advantage. I bench pressed every single day, Monday through Friday. I didn't do anything else, but I got stronger. I had this weight training class junior and senior year, and by the end of senior year, I was actually able to bench press 300 pounds, which looking back is pretty impressive considering I had no guidance, no coaching, no technique. I was just doing it off pure will and teenage hormones. And although it isn't ideal, bench pressing every day actually changed my physique. I was getting little cuts in my arms, my chest was starting to poke out, but I really transformed when I went through puberty. And I specifically remember the summer from junior to senior year, I grew about 4 inches and just naturally leaned out. Unfortunately, this newfound leanness was short-lived. My diet was still terrible. I was still eating 3 dinners a night. I was still snacking like crazy. But when things really went downhill was when I got my driver's license. I was fortunate enough to get a car as soon as I got my license, and with the ability to drive, I used whatever money that I did have to just go out and get whatever fast food I wanted. Fast forward to after high school, which was probably the closest I've ever gotten to hitting rock bottom. I wasn't bench pressing anymore. I wasn't playing basketball. I didn't have PE class, and there was nothing going for me to keep me active. This was also the time when I got my first job, so I had a little bit of extra money to really go out and do some damage on some food. I also wasn't doing the best mentally during this period, and I would cope by eating because that's what I love to do. And a typical night for me would be going to either Jack in the Box or Taco Bell and getting $20 worth of food and just eating it all to myself in one sitting. And this was back in 2005, 2006, when $20 worth of food would actually feed 3 or 4 people. This was also the time when I discovered Wingstop for the first time, and boy did I fall in love. A typical Wingstop order for me would be a 20-piece bone-in wing, a large potato salad, a large fry, ranch, eat it all in one sitting, ain't no thing, and I would still have dessert afterwards. This period of not being active and eating like an absolute menace went on for about 2 years until one day I was feeling extra bloated, extra nasty, extra lethargic, so I stepped on the scale, which I haven't done in a while, 230. Shocked by what I saw, took off my shirt, took a look at the mirror, which I also haven't done in a while. I was disgusted, man. I had these titties, I had these stretch marks in my sides, and one thing I always told myself at the time was, hey, you might be big, you might be chubby, but at least you don't have stretch marks. So seeing that along with my weight, I knew I had to pump the brakes. And that's what I did. I didn't do anything drastic. I didn't go on any specific regimen. I just remember cutting out the fast food, primarily eating lean cuisines throughout the day. And what really changed was increasing my daily water intake. I started drinking a gallon of water a day, which was something I've never done prior. And I also started going on more walks. I wasn't walking my dogs prior to this, so I was going on more walks. And I also started playing basketball again. I would go to the local park and just shoot around for 30, 40 minutes. And these changes caused me to go from 230 to about 200 in the span of 4 months without really trying. But what really changed the game was around 2008, 2009, where I saw that Costco had a 2-year membership to 24-hour fitness that broke down to about 13, 14 bucks a month. Bought the pass, signed up at 24, and I was like a kid in a candy store. I remember my first months at 24, I would do 30 minutes of cardio, an hour of basketball, an hour of weights, followed by 20 minutes in the sauna. And I would do this 5-6 days a week, and I was so motivated, I was so driven. I wasn't eating any fast food, I wasn't snacking, I was eating like a bird. Nothing but extra lean proteins and vegetables. So the combination of this, along with the restricted calories, I went from 190 all the way to about 170. And for the first time in my life, I had abs. Of course, this didn't last long. I was training way too hard and not eating enough, so it wasn't sustainable. So I went from 170 and just went back to about 185 and pretty much been maintaining 185 for the past 15 years. Of course, that number fluctuated. I would gain weight during the winter, cut down during the summer, but for the most part, I've been able to maintain 185 for the better part of the last 15 years. And this is always at a relatively somewhat lean level. My main purpose for making this channel is to hopefully motivate, inspire, educate, entertain, and whether it reaches 5 people or 100, just share my overall passion for fitness with the outside world. Everyone who knows me knows I love fitness. They're always asking me questions about nutrition, exercises, how should I do this, what should I do about that? And it feels good to share my knowledge and experience with them, and if I enjoy sharing it with them, maybe I'll enjoy sharing it with the world. On top of that, another thing I get quite often from just friends, family, gym rats is, hey, I'm trying to get like you, bro. And this isn't your typical, just trying to get like you, bro. No, this is a genuine, no, I want to get like you, bro. If I can get to your level, I'll be good. Your goals, you inspire me. So if I can share my workouts and if it can be of any value or use to anyone, then my mission is accomplished. I specifically chose YouTube because I feel like YouTube's more genuine, it provides more substance compared to Instagram, where if you don't look a certain way, most people would just scroll right past you. And I feel like with YouTube, if people rock with you on YouTube, then they rock with you for being you, not because you look a certain way or because you're pretty or hot or anything like that. As I mentioned in my previous video, YouTube is something that I've wanted to do for a very long time. The only thing holding me back was myself and my self-doubt. Man, there's tons of other fitness pages out there. Who the hell would want to watch yours? Yeah, although there might be a lot of fitness pages out there, there's only one me. And I want to prove that through discipline, consistency, and hard work, you can do anything that you want to do. Well, I hope you enjoyed the story of my fitness journey thus far. The journey is far from over, and I can't wait to document and share the rest of my journey with you guys. If you stuck around to this point, you're an absolute trooper, and I really, really, really appreciate you. Stay tuned for more, and always remember, keep your eye on the prize. Peace!